time. Live. Live. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, share the live, get 5. We got a special guest in the building. Y'all know Dre. Y'all know Bobby. Bobby just stepped off. My
Yeah.
man who has the who I considered the best comic book of 2021.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
My
agree.
guy Newton Lilavois. That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My guy. My guy. What's up, my
Nailed
man?
that one. Nailed that one.
Yeah, thanks
What's
for
up?
having
How's it
me,
going?
man.
Oh, no
Going
doubt, man.
good.
Well, it's an honor to have you on here because I want to I dive into your book. How are you with spoilers? How does that go with you?
Spoilers are fine. I mean, you mean spoilers that's already in the it's already in the book, or me like telling people things that's not already in the book?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that right there. Because I don't want to tap dance on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I try to talk about what might be coming up, but not reveal too much. You know what I mean?
Okay, that
I'll
sounds
go
about
in
right.
the general direction, but not the details.
Okay.
Mhm.
First off, let's see who's in here. Let's see. I got something to ask you real quick. You let them in here?
Let's
Let's
hope
share this.
it's
Let's share this live real
okay.
quick.
Good. You're good now,
You
Rocks.
good?
All right.
Good.
I literally had to close my laptop and open it back up. I restarted it, but I was like, all right, let me close it and open it. And then for some reason it did it.
Okay. Before we dive into your book, Newton, I want to ask you a question real quick.
Mhm.
We kind of break out in arguments on the show a lot, and I want to bring up something that I feel like you can solve for us. So, are you familiar with deathstroke?
Yeah, yeah,
Where does
yeah.
where does your
Well,
where does your nerddom go? Let us know that. How
well,
far does
yeah.
it go?
I, I was reading comics from when I was like 11 years old, but to be honest, I'm not a DC guy. I'm more of a Marvel guy.
Okay.
I kind of regret it because when I was growing up, a lot of my classmates were well, I should say the comic book collectors were like, "Yo, DC's whack, Marvel's, things." So I kind of like when I started, I kind of like picked up on that too. So I only followed Marvel, not a lot of DC. So, but I'm familiar with Deathstroke. Just a little bit. I
Okay.
read
Okay.
and in fact, I recently read the Teen Titan run where he had
Got beat up by
implanted,
kids?
huh?
Where you got beat up by kids?
No, he implanted the traitor or like that chick, I forgot her name.
Tara.
Yeah, Terra to the team. I read that run for a little bit. That was
Okay.
pretty good. But he didn't really do much in that book, in that arc. So, but I'm not really that familiar with him. Why? What's
Okay.
up?
Well, I got a question. Okay. Let's present it like this. No,
Before
no,
you
no, no,
go,
no, no. Hush,
before
hush,
you
hush,
go,
hush, hush,
let me ask
hush,
you a
hush,
question.
hush.
Let me ask you a
Hold on.
question.
Go.
How deep do you read mangas? Do you watch anime?
Yeah, I'm not really a manga or anime person. Like I
Okay.
watch what my daughter does because she's into
Mhm.
it. She's
Mhm.
about 16 years old, and
Mhm.
I'll be like trying to keep up with what she's watching or reading.
Mhm.
But I'm not really that big into it.
Let me
Mhm.
introduce you to the 5, Newton, real quick. Up top above you is Bobby. That's Bobby.
What's up?
Bobby on Dre. We got Dre over here. Dre.
All right.
We got my man Carl just jumped in here right now. Carl.
What's up, Carl?
And we got Rocks. This is the Rebellion 5 right here. That's to show you on the Rebellion 5. Okay.
All right,
So
cool.
And
we
because
we
you're the one here today, that's why I got this background on here. We
yeah.
got to pay homage to
Right,
you.
right. That's why
Hey, so
I got the same thing on my computer. You damn right.
so
Oh,
so
oh
real
yeah,
quick,
that's dope.
real quick, Newton. I gotta ask you something, bro. So let's say 5 people was scrapping, right?
Oh
Uh-huh.
my
Let's
god.
let's say 5 people was scrapping at once, right?
Uh-huh.
One of these dudes is a superior fighter,
Oh
Mhm.
my
and he
god.
and he wields something called the God Killer. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Now I want to ask you: anybody in this fight, if they're not a god, shouldn't they be dead? He wields a sword called the God Killer.
Right.
Okay, so if this person wielding a sword called the God Killer is fighting a bunch of humans, shouldn't he get them out of here?
I don't know. It depends, because
Okay.
you know what it is. It's because like certain weapons, like in comic books, right? Like certain weapons might be specific to a certain entity, right?
Yeah.
Like a God Killer, you might think like, hey, is mostly more effective towards a god, right? So like maybe the Hulk, you know, somebody as powerful as the Hulk could withstand the weapon of a God Killer, right? Or I don't know, Captain Marvel, you know, Miss Marvel, I should say, you know, somebody on that level might be able to think. But if it's descriptive in terms of like its power, yeah, you know, then I would think like, yeah, okay, you would have to be like some Thanos level person to be able to
Oh,
put up
okay.
with a.
So you wait. So what you're saying basically is you would have to be a god to fight somebody with a God Killer weapon, right?
You'd have to be a god or above, right? Because you probably
right, exactly.
yeah.
Right.
Because
So
I could imagine like a God Killer weapon. I'm thinking like for example like a sword, right?
Yeah.
That's basically a human killer, right? But it is possible to fight somebody with a sword and survive, right? As a human, right? So I'm thinking if you're a god and you're fighting somebody who has a God Killer, you probably can survive a God Killer weapon if you're nice enough, you know.
Oh, okay.
That's my thinking about it.
Okay. I just wanted to get that out the way. I feel like I was triumphant with what you just said, but it's all good. We getting a lot of debates on this show.
Triumphant because you said no gods.
Yeah,
so God Killer weapon.
Yeah, so
hey, they just okay. Hold on, they're just mad because I outthought them. Oh, okay. The cap. Here was the. Hey, Newton, check this out.
Yeah.
The cap was no gods. We can't pick no gods.
You gotta explain to him what it is that we were doing, though.
No. I just got to explain the parameters. There was no gods available, no gods, and they can't be on par with Superman. I picked Deathstroke, and he wields the God Killer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me out thinking them. That's what I presumed. What do you think?
Oh, so you saying
Newton, hey, real quick, Newton. Let me ask you something, Newton. Ask him if he won the debate.
Hold on, no.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Newton, go ahead. What you was about to say, man?
So you're saying if Deathstroke had a God Killer weapon, he would be able to, like, let's say, beat Thor, or
beat a Batman, or a just people that are human beings with
he's
power.
Saying sledgehammer to an ant. That's basically what he's saying. Is basically you have this immense power, this immense weapon, and you're taking it to humans as opposed to what it's meant for, which is gods.
Yeah. See, that's one of those comic book arguments, because comic books you get like real technical, because you be like, nah, it depends, because if that, it's like it's like so many ways to go. But
he hit that nail on the head though.
Yeah, because that's what goes down in here. Not a whole bunch of arguments. Let's move forward. Hey, my man,
dog.
Crescent City Monsters. Hey, bravo, my guy. Bravo.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let's start with what gave you this idea? How'd you come up with the idea of putting this together?
Yeah, it was crazy. So I started this about like 4 or 5 years ago, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna do a comic book, right? And then I had to pick a story, right? And I had a couple of stories in my head. Believe it or not, one of them was a Harriet Tubman story. I'm still gonna do that, but I decided to go with
please.
I decided to go with a zombie story. I wanted to create a zombie story, but I wanted to do because at that time I was a big Walking Dead fan, and I'm talking about the comic book.
Right.
I like the TV series, but I love the comic book. Like even before the TV series came out, I was like, yo, Walking Dead is like, that's the shit right there. I was like, man, I was like, yo, I was really into that comic. So, and then I heard Kirkman, how when he started the book, how he lied his way into the book.
Yeah, right. He said it was an alien.
Yeah, he said it was an alien because he was like, yo, I'll make a zombie book, da da da, and they're like, nah, you can't. His editor was like, nah, you can't make a zombie book. Those never sell.
Yeah.
So then he lied and was like, nah, there's gonna be some aliens coming up in the later issues, right? And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. But he lied and he never put aliens, but it was too late. So I was like, word. I was like, yo, that's ballsy right there, man. So I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? I was like, yo, I want to make my own zombie story, right? So I was like, but I wanted it to be a twist. I didn't want it to be like the typical zombie story where, you know, zombies are walking like, oh. I wanted to kind of elevate the zombies to a level where they were more like, you know, how werewolves and vampires are like supernatural monsters. I kind of wanted to put it up there where, you know, they're able to have storylines and personalities. So that was basically the starting point. And then after that, you know, the whole creative process, you know, things started to fall in place. You know, I'm Haitian, and originally I was going to make it the story in Haiti, but I was like, man, that's a lot of research, and you know, if it was in Haiti, because I'm Haitian, I wanted to represent it right, you know, do the right amount of research.
Right.
Then that was taking a long time because, you know, I get too intense in like research sometimes, and it was boggling me down. And I was like, yo, let me just put it in New Orleans. New Orleans is like the next best thing because it's got already that supernatural lore.
Right.
There's a historical. Exactly, and then there's like a historical connection to Haiti. So I was like, yo, let me do a New Orleans, and then, you know, the rest was history basically. And from the onset, what I wanted to do too is, and anytime, the one thing I did notice is like whenever you see supernatural stories taking place in New Orleans, the Black people are the fourth on the background. You know what I mean? To be in the forefront and then involved, and I'm gonna say black magic but not the black magic they're used to in terms of like evil. I'm talking about like black magic in terms of magic that's based on our culture, you know, and our history. So and that was important to me, and at the same time capture that New Orleans culture. Because I still think like sometimes I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I do and I see New Orleans, I'm like, yo, they could be capturing a lot of the stuff that be going on, like the Mardi Gras and the Indian chiefs. You know, there's so much to it. It's rich in culture. It doesn't feel like they capture that enough. So I was like, you know, we need to keep it real and roll up and do something about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, true. Cause it kind of made me feel like True Blood. Like they should have had so many more Black people in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. More culture. Like I noticed your take on like Papa Lego. Yeah, is not like, you know how they, I guess not that. I guess his name was it. The character that's with the
this Baron Samedi, the guy who has the skull.
Yeah. So they mixed those two up, but it's like on TV you know what I'm saying, as far as the look and the aesthetic of them go. So to get it right, I was like, that's pretty fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? It shows you know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, that kind of upset me too because the show you're talking about is the American Horror Story.
Yeah. They that's not Papa Lego.
They have Papa Legba in there, but he looks like Baron Samedi.
Right.
This day, if you Google Papa Legba, it's gonna be a picture of the guy from American Horror Stories, and he's gonna look like Baron Samedi. So a lot of people who search the internet all of a sudden are gonna think, you know, that's how Papa Legba looks, but it's not. Okay. You know, so that's kind of messed up right there, because it's like, because they either they were lazy or they thought they were you know, they had this creative, you know, you have a creative license when you're creating something, right? Sometimes you don't make it super accurate, you know, you take liberties and whatnot, but that particular liberty was like just too off mark, you know, almost to the point disrespectful. I was like, damn. I was like, yo, this is. I was like, so that was really whack. Yeah. And now, you know, when people search, you know, like I said, now when people search, when they Google Papa Legba, they're gonna think that's how Papa Legba looks when it's not, and and that's very problematic.
Let me let you know something.
I've been when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, this is dope that he actually took it." You know what I'm saying? He knows the hell he's talking about. So I was like, "Yo, that's raw as hell."
Let me tell you something, man. I've been reading comics for over 28 years, bruh. And never have I ever been so. I've never heard of any of this. Never heard of anything that goes on in voodoo, hoodoo. Like, it was all brand new and fresh and just scrumptious, man. That look. Okay, so I got a question. I got a question to ask. Maybe you can answer it for me. These different monsters that live here. First of all, bravo on that meeting. That meeting, the dialogue in that meeting is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
How you just that was like the explosion where the world expanded right there for me. I'm like, I want to know about all of y'all. Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. Did these monsters come from, because you know how there was a part in the book where someone did a certain thing and brought a certain something. You know what I mean.
Hey, we can talk about this, man.
Are we talking about it? Are we talking
man,
about
let's
it?
go.
Hey, all right. So here we go. So when the two kids brought back, what's my man's name? Was it Judas? What was my man's name?
Jonas.
Jonah.
Oh, they brought back Jonah. No.
Yeah, they didn't really know what they were bringing back.
No.
So my question to you is that the monsters? Is that how they got there? Would you say that's how they got there, or is that something to come forward?
You mean,
it's like a give or take type of thing. Like, I do something here, like what Mom said. What did Mom say to him before he left the house? She was like, it can be beautiful, but it can also be dangerous. Something to that nature. I'm thinking they came from something similar where Jonah came from. Would you understand what I mean with that?
No.
Like that same trap world he was at.
They are.
Okay. So messing with the magic.
Back, he was trapped in like multiple dimensions. So like what they did to make sure that he can't be found, they spread him across like dimensions.
They threw him like a blast and threw him away.
Yeah. So
the question I'm asking is just how they didn't know they were going to bring back Jonah. They didn't. Just messing with the magic brings something back, either good or bad. It brings something to this world.
Yeah.
Is that how those? Would you say those how the monsters got around?
Nah, most of the monsters, like you mean the main monsters in the book.
Yeah.
They got there was a purpose. They that wasn't by accident. Like when Jonas was released. It was an accident on the kids' part, but they were kind of like manipulated by somebody else to help release Jonas. But the monsters themselves, like most of the monsters, are there purposefully. So it's not like they were a consequence of somebody doing something bad or making a mistake. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That answers your question.
Yeah, it does.
I kind of want to
piggyback on that. Is that kind of the same thing? My fault. Is that the kind of the same thing like how they were saying that my man, he changed with money and power, and he said one of the kids said at first I couldn't see you, I saw him regular, I saw him normal, and then all of a sudden now he looks like the monsters. So is that a byproduct too of like having greed and all that shit? Is that also something that factors into them changing as to what they are and changing into those monsters?
Yeah, that's a factor too. Like so, in their world you have like monsters who are just monsters right off the bat, like demons, and in certain respect, I guess vampires too. But then you have people who are like sorcerers or magicians and witches.
Yo, how you did that vampire transformation, by the way? Hold on, I just my bad. I don't mean to interrupt. But that shit was nasty. That concept of how I've never seen that done with a vampire before. God damn it, that shit was wrong.
That was hard.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was. It's funny because some of the stuff that like stuff like that, it was kind of risky. Because first I wasn't sure if people would dig it, and then I wasn't sure if. So shout out to my artist Giancarlo Bernal. That's my partner in crime.
Right.
That dude is like
his work is savage.
How you say his name one more time?
Giancarlo Bernal.
Okay, all right.
Giancarlo Bernal. I also had him as my number one artist of 2021. Also, both of y'all was number one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So to answer your question, the whole thing with the vampires kind of interesting because you know, I have a lot of faith in Gian, and when I was describing him the transformation, I was like, man, I hope he could do this because you know, it's something like that is kind of hard because I'm telling him like, yo, make the demon swallow him up and then absorb his body. And I was like, you know, how do you do that without, you know, with people understanding that that's actually happening? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really difficult. But he pulled it off.
Yeah.
There are a lot of scenes where I was like, man, I hope Gene could do it. Like the you know, the snake, because I was like,
that was nasty.
With the snake out the mouth. Yeah. Because I was like, when I wrote that scene, I was like, man, I hope Gene. I was like, I hope I'm not pushing Gene too much because the one thing I worried about is like, you know, in the script it says, you know, a whole bunch of snakes come out of his mouth. Right? I don't remember the exact words I wrote, but I made it a lot, and I was worried that it would look kind of ridiculous, right? Like it would look ridiculous, like a ton of snake that it wouldn't come out right? That it would just look too cartoonish. You know, but when Gene came back with that panel, I was like, yo,
it came out perfect.
It came out beautiful.
The texture of the snake was just phenomenal, and I was just like, you can see each snake going its own direction. It was.
It looked believable, like no, it's possible for that much that many
to
snakes
come out of your head, right?
Yeah. I was like, damn, he killed it. I was like. And it looked horrific at the same time. I was like, yo.
I really loved what he did. And I also love his art style. You know, you see a lot of people that replicate styles of, you know, other artists they already know or people that influence them. But this is extremely unique and it is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It is, absolutely. I have to say though.
Hey, so just so you know, Newton, we got two artists here, right here. Dre and Carl, they the artists.
Yeah.
There's a different appreciation.
That's right.
Very, very much so. Very much so.
XO, man, breaking up.
Dig into that Creole.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
Hear?
No, we lost
you. You're breaking up and like freeze framing.
Oh yeah, man.
But to still piggyback off what X and Carl was saying already. So basically all these oh, you froze again.
No, froze again. You froze again.
It keeps freezing on
now.
and off.
Okay, now you're good.
Okay, seems good now.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, you're good.
But to still piggyback off what they were saying. So basically like some of the vampires and stuff already existed in this world, but it seems there are certain monsters like the grunches that can only be seen by people that have a certain level of magical ability.
Yeah, so that part. So what I want to do with that part, like, there's a spell around the city, and supernaturals can't be seen by regular humans, or they could be seen, but like they don't really look like themselves, right? So like the grunch could go walk around without people like yelling, like, "Oh my gosh," or you know. Or the big dude Corporon just walk around with his alligator leashed.
That was my shit. That was my shit right there, bro.
That was wild.
I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
So where did your Creole lore come from? You already into it? Did you hook up? I seen that there was an advisor on your book or on your website. I think I saw one of them that helped you with the Creole lore. Like, tell me a little bit about that. Did you find out about it, or you already knew a little bit about it?
So I knew about the Creole culture in New Orleans, and to me it was kind of a dope thing because even though there's like some kind of controversy around the whole Creole culture thing. I still kind of like the idea that it was a mixture of all these different ethnicities, right? A little Native American, a little European, but a lot of African, right? And so I was like, man, we did that with like magic, right? What if when you think of magic, right, it's mostly like martial arts, right? Like every like cultures have different fighting styles, different martial arts, right? But at the end, it's still martial arts, right? It's a way of fighting. What if magic was the same way? Every culture developed their own different sets of magic and rules, and because of their train of thought or their ideology, you know, maybe one culture was able to do one particular thing better than the other. But you know, just so what if you had a Creole culture was like, yo, we could mix all of this and we can take the best of everything, because they're they're open-minded to mixing it, because when you think about it, all cultures, you know, they try to stick within themselves, right? But what if you have that mentality of a Creole culture where you're taking all these cultures and blending the best of it, open-minded to it, like okay, so Creole culture would be like mixed martial arts, right? But mixed martial arts takes everything, and so to make a superior martial arts, right, or fighting system, right? So that's how you can think of like the Creole magic. It's taking like everything and try to make the best of it, and create a system there. So their magic is similar into that. So yeah, I'm big into the UFC and martial arts. That's why.
Hey, right here, that's me. I'm here for all that smoke, man. Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's how you could think of like the Creole magic. So it's a mixture of like all that stuff, and the reason why I wanted to do that too is because, you know, I also like monsters like werewolves. Werewolves are like my favorite monsters. I like vampires, and I wanted it to be able to include that into my story at the same time, kind of make it feel real and not like forced. You know what I mean? So I wanted to create an ideology that was based on that Creole culture, where it's a mixture anyway. So we get everything. You know what I mean?
Even in the meeting, I'm sorry. Even in the meeting, you see that. You see the vampires. You see the what's her, Philomena and her witches. You see Arias and his, you know, because if I'm not mistaken, that's like from Gaelic, like Gaelic or like Irish.
Oh yeah, you got that. Yeah.
So it was kind of, I see exactly what you're saying, because it's all different kinds of people, like different kinds of species of creature in one area. So so that was but that
are those monsters in the lore? Are those monsters? Is this all like lore monsters, or did you create your own with some of them?
So like that lady is a banshee. Please. Like that lady is a banshee, right? So in my mind, she's a banshee, and then like I was doing research and like I was like on Wikipedia, like looking up banshees, and you know, I was there all day trying to figure out how to make it fit in. Like it's funny because, you know, there'll only be like 2 or 3 lines or even one line, and then, you know, but that was like 3 hours of research just to three lines. But yeah, they're based on some kind of lore, you know, because you know I try to put a lot of research, and then, you know, I'll look up something and then, you know, put my own spin on it.
Okay, got you.
And then some things are just like something that like I just totally made up, like the vampires, and you know, they have a symbiotic relationship with those the bat demons,
like familiar
and
shit.
That's clean. I like that.
That was that was different because I wanted to create vampires that was a little different. Believe it or not, I wrote out a scene. The original vampires were just like regular vampires, but then, and you know, as usual, Gene wrote out this he killed it on the scene. But after he was finished, I was like, yo, this doesn't feel right. You know, I was like, these vampires are cool and everything, but I was like, yo, I need to make something different. You know, so then I was like, how could I make vampires different than anything that I've seen? And then that's when I don't even know how I came up with the idea, but then I came up with the idea. I was like, yo, what if, you know, they had like bat demons and there was a symbiotic relationship, and like that's how they get their powers. I was like, all right, you know, I could work with that. Yeah, so man, I threw that in there.
All right, real quick, Real quick for those who are tuning in right now, because Will Turner said movie, please. Now, we're not talking about a movie.
Yeah.
So Newton's on here and we're discussing this book right here, Crescent City Monsters. So everything he's talking about with the monsters and everything is in this book.
Read it.
So go
read
cop
it.
Read it.
I think he might be saying. I think he might be saying we need a movie.
Yeah, we need a movie.
Yeah. I got that
could
too.
be doing that too. But I still wanted to break that down for you.
Hey, hold on, real quick question. I have a couple of them. I have a lot of them actually, but that's a beautiful situation. So, as far as the black and white, what made you decide to go? What made y'all decide to go that direction? Because I mean, it was beautifully done.
Gotcha.
But that is so nasty. Like I love the way that you guys use the use just the black and white, the tones and all that shit. I know that's more of an artist question, but I love the you had to go with the idea and say, you know what, yeah, let's go with black and white. What made you do that?
Yeah, a lot of people ask that. You know, I'm surprised that so many people ask that. That's like I think the second most common question behind what made you think of the story.
Yeah.
The black and white. So, like I said, I was a big Walking Dead fan.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create my own comic book, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it black and white too, right? It's funny, like when you read my book.
That's my favorite. I like black and white, so you right up my alley.
Avid manga reader right here. That's our manga guy. Our manga guy, and he rocks me on it. So he says he likes the cleanliness of the lines.
Yeah, and it's strange with manga too, because like when I read manga, I don't read a lot of manga, but when I do, I forget it's in black and white, you know. Until like I open up a comic book. But anyway, so to make a long story short, I was like, I'm gonna make it black and white, because I was still in that mindset, like, yo, I was still influenced by Walking Dead, not in like an artistic, well, I guess in the artistic sense, but not in like, hey, I'm gonna copy exactly what they did.
Right.
You know, when you read my book, there's no way you think of
hell no,
hell
no,
no, nah,
not even a little bit.
So so what happened is I was like, yo, I'm gonna make it in black and white.
Yeah. So
let me talk to Gian, and I'm gonna explain to him like how I want it. So I took a screenshot of, like, you know, I have Comixology, and I took a couple of screenshots of pages from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him. I was like, hey, can you I want it to be in black and white. Can you do grayscale like this? And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Walking Dead, the grayscale.
go ahead, explain it real quick.
It's
Give it to us.
It's way simpler than what he did, right? So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's like way simpler than what he did.
Colored
So,
this without colors, nigga. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so I was expecting that, and then he came back and he brought the first page. Yo, I was like, when he sent me the first page of the first issue, I was like, man. I was like, yo, God sent me.
Oh yes, yes,
you're right.
yes.
Yeah.
Something special, man. I was like, And
but then the
grayscale world was I'm not sure why he did that, because he could have like toned it down, like it made it real easy, made it easier. I'm not sure what his thought process was in making it so layered and complex.
Yeah.
But it was way more involved than what I originally showed him.
Hey, I'm glad he did.
Yeah. And I was like, what is this? I was like, man, I was glad. I was like, and then, you know, when you sent that first page, I was like, man, this is gonna be something special.
Yo,
and this question by Will is actually what I was about to ask too. Since you were talking about, you know, his art. And yeah, how did y'all basically end up connecting together? Like, how'd you connect with your artists?
Yeah, pretty much how well, these days I usually use Instagram, but back in the days I used to use ArtStation and DeviantArt. I used to just, you know, go through those two websites a lot, right? And then that's when I stumbled on Gian's page, right? And the thing is, I recognized his artwork because he had drawn, I think maybe one or two, at least one comic book that I backed as a Kickstarter, right?
okay.
Because I at that time, and that Kickstarter is one of the reasons too why I decided to jump into making comic books. But I don't want to digress there. But I found him on DeviantArt, and I was like, oh, yo, this is the artist um, who drew that one comic book that I backed on Kickstarter. And I was like, oh, that's great. You know, he's a good artist and he's familiar with Kickstarter deadlines and stuff like that. Because I'm really big into like, you know, when I work with somebody, I want them to be, you know, like as professional as possible. I know there's a whole creative process to this. So sometimes, you know, I give creatives a leeway. But, you know, my regular 9 to 5, I'm in the corporate world. We have meetings, we have deadlines. So I'm used to that. Like if you miss that, you got to give them a good reason why you missed it.
Right.
But, you know, that's the one thing I had to get used to working as an indie comic is like, you know, giving not just artists, but just people in general, like leeway in terms of like deadlines and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not really that. But at the same time, I still needed somebody who not was only a good artist, but who was dependable and professional. So I knew like, okay, he did a Kickstarter and he did comic books, so he's experienced with like deadlines and things like that. So I was like, I reached out to him. I was like, yo, I got the story, and he was like, at first I usually feel out my artists. I have them do a commission for me first, and I asked them to do a couple of commissions, and he just knocked it out the box. I was like, damn, this guy's fire. So, you know, even then I didn't really realize how good of an artist he was, because, you know, that's the thing, like drawing for comic books is a different kind of like skill set, because you can be one of those artists and you're ill, right? You're drawing like just regular commissions where you're doing like posters and prints and whatnot, and you could be fire, but at the same time, you know, if I say, hey, can you do a comic book, then all of a sudden it's like it's different, because now it's a different skill set, because comic books, you know, the really good comic book illustrators, they angle things, you know, they don't come always like straightforward.
It's
from
not
angle. And you can see from Gene's work that he's very cinematic. It's like almost like it's like reading a movie, you know. So because even his panel layouts is like it's crazy. So
well, and that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about too was the fact that one scene and the way it's written and paced is fucking dope. When he's escaping out of prison and you
damn it, I was just about to bring that up.
Hold on, I want to touch on that too. The detail that y'all put in. So I know this is all your creation. So like when you had the owl and the crow talking to each other in the actual word bubble, I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, that was Gene's idea.
What happened?
That was Gene's idea when he.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when he did that, I was like, damn. I was like, yo, why not think of that? I was like, yo,
that shit was cold. And then the pacing between how you have it like written and drawn, like he's fighting off, you know, and then he's like, you know what I'm saying, and then she's saying what she's talking about, you know, basically going crazy, and if she's, you know, if the shit's, you know, all that shit is real, and if she's not losing her mind by just sitting in prison for eons or whatever. But the way it's paced out is so fucking beautiful, dog. Like that's why I was blown away by how you guys did that. That shit was nice.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's the one thing I have to say about Gene is like, so I'm a big fan of his artwork, but you know, he's also a big fan of my writing, and you know, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but I could tell because like I've seen his like previous work. Yeah, it was good. But it was not as good as like what he does for Crescent City Monsters. Like, you know, I've seen his previous artwork. It all worked well. But you know, so I could tell like and I've worked with artists too, and I usually could tell when they're really feeling a story or not. Right. And you know, it's nothing to the artist. It's like if you're not feeling it, you're just not feeling it. So you know, there's a certain level that you take it to. You know, you'll try to give it to you 100%. But you may not get there because you're not feeling the same energy like as the writer or the creator.
I'd vouch for that statement 100%. I know exactly how that feels.
This is why I don't like doing commissions, bro. This is why I don't like it.
So, and you know, that's to be expected, right?
Right.
but you know, when I look at Gene's work, I can tell that he's really into the story, you know, and you know, he'll be emailing me. He's like, "Yo, so what's gonna happen next?" You know,
Right.
Yeah,
like he's
straight up.
like he's not
Every
even
page,
like drawing the book. He's just like a regular reader. He's like, "Yo, so what's gonna happen to such and such?"
Yeah.
You know, he's like,
So I want to know,
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen? Is old girl gonna get down with him? Like, is they gonna do the nasty, man? You know what I'm saying? Hold up.
Oh,
She ain't worried
God.
about no kind of, like, you know what I'm saying, STDs down there. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's a zombie. Oh my God.
Now,
And
but for
he
real,
said,
what made you want to show the resurrection process? Because I think that I don't think I've ever seen a resurrection process. You know what I'm saying? Like him escaping and coming up out of the it looked like a sheet. He was coming out, like breaking the dimension and getting in here and having to fight his way through the climb. Oh, that was dope. In order for
yeah.
him to be here in this place, what made you want to show that?
yeah, a lot of my decisions is based on it's based on like emotional feelings, right? Like, so for me, I'm like, I want the reader to feel certain things, right? So like I could have just like made Jonas just like pop out of
Yeah.
like some just regular shit and just like kind of walk his way out, whatever. But I wanted to show like, yo, when he escaped, it's not like first, he's like he's not really himself. Like he doesn't know what's going on, and at the same time, he's immediately attacked, right?
Mhm.
And so he's so you're already feeling like, yo, he's in a dangerous situation, and he like, and you could see like he's frightened, and you
Yeah.
would understand why he's frightened. So like
Right.
I wanted the readers to understand that, yo, like at this point he's fragile and think he doesn't know what's going on, because a lot of times when you read like some comic books, sometimes they'll gloss over certain things, right?
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, you know, oh, I got amnesia, and they'd be like, oh man, that's too bad. And he's
Yeah.
like, I can't remember anything. You know, they'll kind of focus on it, but
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of focus on the emotional part of like what it really feels like when you're losing it, you know, and everything's just it's so jacked up, you know, and that's where I wanted to kind of take people to, because
Yeah.
you know, there's what they call a character arc, right? And I want you to I want it to be like so dark that you're like, man, it's like how do you even recover emotionally from something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
And
how you spoke on taking people on that emotional ride. You know, I kind of noticed you took it there when he was getting talked down, when Jonas was getting talked down, and he started losing his mind, and his girl grabbed his face and said, you know, calm down, I got you. We gonna get through this. And I
Oh,
thought
that was hard. That
that
was
was
hard.
written, by the way. Like that shit, I was like,
Also,
wow.
those who did not
Wow.
take the New Orleans order seriously now regret it. That right there is, hey, I loved it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I see what's happening here. I see what he talking. Is you talking that talk, homie? You know what I'm saying? Is you talking that rabbit hole talk, brother?
yeah, that's I like it's funny because when I started writing the book, I you know I was doing research, and there was I wanted to find like specific New Orleans monsters,
Yeah.
and then I stumbled upon the grunch, um and so I was like, yo, these guys are kind of interesting, you know. And I was doing some research, and I was looking at the image of the grunch, but the way on the internet, that's why you can't trust the internet. The way the internet, the grunch looked more like lizards and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's interesting. But then I read an article, and it was like they described the grunch as um, dwarf people who are albino, right? But on the internet, when you look at the images of what grunch was, it was nothing like that. So I was like, all right. I was like, yo, I saw this as an opportunity to kind of just like take the grunch and make it mine.
Yeah.
So I told Gene, I was like, yo, make
Yeah.
them look like dwarves and albino. And then, you know, and then he just took it from there, and I think he did a good job at that. And so I wasn't really taking like the grunch seriously, but then as I was writing, I was like, man, I was like, yo, I was like, man, I could do so much with these guys. I was like,
Mm.
and then I thought about Queenie and Kingsley, and I was like, man, I was like, yo, that's deep too. Because when I picture the grunge, I think of them more of like kind of like like I was gonna yeah, anyway. So kind of like the bottom of the totem pole. You know what I mean?
As far as
like,
spiritual monsters.
Yeah, as far as in the rankings of the monsters, like they like other monsters don't give them any respect, right?
Right.
It's like a class system. I wanted to kind of like make a statement on the class system.
Well, wait
They're
a
like
minute.
little Cybermen.
Yeah, but hold on now. Now the way you said that just now, you said they're at the bottom. So but Kingsley, in my opinion, like the hardest fucking line I have read to this day, right now, I swear to God. Well, second hardest because Magneto's line was pretty hard, but this motherfucker is hard when he says, "Follow me into the gates of hell," and I promise you, I'll bring back the head of the devil. Like I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, buddy.
When I wrote that, I was like, man, did I hear that from somewhere? Because I was like, damn, that's a damn good line.
That's hard. Yeah. That's hard.
My guy. Bravo to you on how you incorporated the blues as part of the resurection process, man.
Yeah.
Come on, brother. That was hard.
Yes.
Tell me how you came to that correlation. What you want to tell me how you got there, man? Because that was beautiful, brother.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with the blues, you mean how
Yeah.
he uses and yeah, that page was interesting too because actually not thinking there was a lot of stuff in the first two issues that was kind of like I was like we were playing around with. That was kind of fun. That's why I like doing comic books because when you write the story, you also take into consideration the panels, right? But when we did that, the kid's power is like he can summon demons, but he uses his instruments, right? And for me, I wanted to do that because New Orleans is a musical place, and I wanted to couple that music with the story. So I thought that was important. And so when we were doing that, when I'm writing, Jonas is a musician, the kids have the thing, and then so I was like, all right, I was really just trying to make sure that music is part of the story, because like I said, New Orleans is a very musical place. And then as we were doing the scene, I was like, all right, how do I make it so like it's looks like they're doing some it's transformative on the panels, but it looks like it looks different. Like you could tell that they're doing magic. How do I do that? I was like, I wanted to like avoid like certain like regular stuff, but I couldn't think of anything.
Notes that glow or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, man, I can't think of anything. So I was gonna go the regular route. But then Gene had sent me something like some drawing, and he had sent it in a white background. I was like, yo, that's it. I was like, yo, we're gonna white out the background, and then he's gonna float in the air. I'm like, So I was like, yeah, we're gonna white out the background, and then he's gonna float in the air. And that's the great thing about Gene is like, so I could be saying ideas like that, like and he just like he immediately kind of it feels like we have a connection because it's like even if it's not exactly what I thought, it's like this is my idea, and this is the level, and it's like, yo, this is dope right here. But then Gene takes my idea and boom, it looks like this. Right. He makes me look like a genius. So when he came back with that, even though it's just a simple white panel, the way he did it, especially with the kid when he's floating and his feet, the angle of the feet,
right?
I was like, man,
by the way,
yeah. So I was like, man, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted because it looks like magic,
Yeah, it does.
And the thing too is I wanted to avoid like certain things too because like usually when a black person is performing some kind of magic, it's always like some bad thing, is like surrounded by skulls or and there's a sacrifice of blood involved. I wanted to do a magic where it was more like it just seems like just magic by itself. I wanted to avoid all like visual stereotypes. that typically comes when a
Right.
lot of people are practicing magic. You know, that's why you don't see a lot of skulls when they're practicing magic or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I use a lot of spell casting, because even with spell casting, you don't really even see like black people do spell casting when they do magic. It's always like like I said, some kind of ritual, some sacrificial thing,
Yeah.
a voodoo doll.
Well, I noticed that
Yeah.
too with him is you said that basically he remembered his mom and his mother and his father, and that's how he was able to play the first time when he said he pulled it when he was playing to summon the spirits. But he said he remembered his. It wasn't like anything like you said. It wasn't like a sacrifice or anything like that. It was more like he was pulling that shit from an emotion. You know what I mean? I noticed. Yeah, I noticed how you.
Tell me a little bit about the goat.
Lilith.
Oh, the goat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? See, because I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about any of the lore or anything. Is the goat part of its lore, or is that your creation?
Yeah, because you know, the goat is that symbol of the devil sometimes in in witchcraft and whatnot. So and then her name Lilith is actually the name of
first mother.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's so much information.
It's Lilith is supposed to be the first mother. Basically, she was before Eve was. She was the first wife of Adam. Technically, biblically speaking, that's what she was supposed to be. And then what ended up happening is she tried to dominate and take over and go after her ass down. And then basically they ousted her ass, threw her out there, just excommunicated her from Eden. And then they made Eve. And then they put her with Adam. Yes. And then they put her with Adam.
Yeah, see, he knows.
I don't know nothing about it. They
put her with Adam, and then something else happened after that. That's right. When the devil, that's why the devil and Lilith have ties, is because when God got rid of the devil, that's who he made it with, because he was earthbound at that point. So Lilith was being the first jilted, experiment.
I don't know about none of that.
Now we're gonna be, I think.
Yeah, that's one of the little things that there's a lot of things in there. Like, if you didn't know, you would think like Lilith was just like a regular name, like Eve to go, But there's a lot of little things that go into the story that I put in there, and maybe sometimes I think that's why people connect to the story. That even though like there's things in the story that like I put in there that they may not know about, I think somehow they feel all the work that I put into the story, into the world, even though like they may not pick up on everything. There's a lot of things in there that that I did a lot of research on. Like even one of the lines when it starts in 1963, and one of Jonas's musician friends is like, he's like, yeah, it was hot in there, not since the days of Ray and damn, I forget the other musician.
Ray and hold on. Exactly what he's talking about.
I forgot. Yeah, Ray
it was jumping like that.
Yeah, Ray and the second musician. That's Ray Charles. I didn't even spell Ray Charles' name out because I wanted to keep it like it's one of those little things
like Fats Domino.
He says Rays and Fats because back in the days, that club that they're in actually existed, right? And Ray Charles and Fats Domino used to perform there. So even that little statement right there was like from research, like, but unless you
Easter
really
eggs
know,
like a motherfucker.
Unless you like you really know, there's a good chance that a lot of people just don't pick up on that. But for me, I just love that. You know what I mean?
So
I got a question. From reading the story, it sounds like there's monsters in every other state. Because you talked about Chicago, like them trying to get at them. Is that going to be something where you expand it other than New Orleans?
Yeah. You guys pick up on everything, man.
Hey, we pay attention, man.
I got a banger after that.
Yeah, that made me think, because I was like, you got like vampires and then all that. There's going to probably just be different kinds of monsters. in different states. And I'm like, if you take it to like Arizona or something, we're gonna have some snakes or something, some cactus monsters or something. I need that.
Some healers.
So I'm like,
monsters.
man, I think that's nice. And the fact that you added like it was like a battle through Katrina where people just thought it was just one thing, and the whole monster saw it was a whole nother battle that was going on. I was like, man, it'd be nice to see that if you're gonna bring that in later on, like to show like a filler or something. I'll take that.
Hey, this is an anime dude right here. You gotta remember that.
Yeah, I'll take that. That was nice.
Yeah. So in their world, it's like it's like pretty much like how gangs are here. Like it's very territorial. Not even just gangs, but even churches are like that too. Like you have little territories and thing, and then people try to expand on their influence by taking other territories or expanding, into other territories. So, it's so and I'm a big I like reading a lot of history, and because the thing I find about history that's dope is that you could really kind of pull a lot of like your story from history, right? Because you could be like, well, back in the days in tribes, like for example, like when you read a lot of history, there's a pattern. Whenever you have sibling royalties, one of them is going to try to kill the other. And so it's you're like, wow, when you read history, you're like, damn, that happens a lot. So you could put that in your book, right? You can be like, yo, in this story, his brother's going to try to kill him because he's the king of so it's like little things like that, or like just organizational structures. You like, well, in history, there was a power struggle between the king and the church. So you could do things like you understand power struggles, and so you could, putting that into a book is helpful because it's realistic, because it's happened before in human nature. You're just kind of like mirroring that. So, and like just to get back to the territory. So every so throughout the world, everyone has like these groups of their own magic clans or whatnot, and everybody kind of like stick together, and people just try to grow their power and their influence. And one of the things I have is like in history too, usually what happens is like if you have one big empire, right, and they want to take over another empire, that maybe it may be a little tough to take over and maybe bloody. Usually the smaller empire might be like, we might not win and we could give them a good fight, but you know what, we're not even gonna go through that. We're just gonna pay them I forgot what the tribute, right? Like you pay tribute, you're like, yo, here's some money and don't fuck with us kind of thing. So it's the same thing in their world. They're like, yo, they pay tribute to the other clans that are higher. So New Orleans used to be like on the bottom, but then Kingsley helped them rise. So like now where other clans are paying tribute to them. But the problem too is like as they're growing in power, now they're becoming a target. Right? Because other clans are like, yo, these guys used to, we used to shit on these guys. Who they think they are, So now,
that's another question I got. What did
hold on. Let me.
I was almost finished. Yeah.
My bad.
No, so like, so that's how it's organized and thing, and it's a global thing too. In other countries, they may be clans, who may be even as powerful as the New Orleans clans, but they haven't come to the point where they're fighting or anything because their interests haven't met.
I really liked that part, and also the conversation you was talking about power. The conversation between Kingsley and Queenie, that conversation she was having when she was locked up. Hey man, he explain rocks to the fellas what you was telling me, because I was wondering how did you, I don't want to ask how you came up with, but the dynamic between you not just gonna tell me to get down and lay down. It was like, so Queenie was like, nah, I'm trying to help my people out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's same.
It's funny because it goes back to the whole thing about like just being interested in like history. When you look at like even Black history, like when you look at like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they had different approaches, and so I wanted to kind of like emulate that approach, right? Like two people who want the same thing, but they go about it differently, right? Queenie is like, well, we're given this power. We don't know who's giving it to us. We don't know exactly what's going on. It seems a little like dubious. Like, how can we trust this person? We don't even, if somebody's giving you that much power, there's got to be some kind of like, there's got to be some kind of risk to it, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, her thinking is like, okay, we got this power, but let's share the risk. Let's share the power with other people, thus spreading the risk, right? Because we won't be the only one picking up whatever consequences of this power is. There'll be this other thing. So she's like, I'm going to share with the other members of the clan. But Kingsley, he's still like, yo, how you going to share with these guys? These guys, they never cared about us. Now you want to share this great power with them. Why don't we just keep the power ourselves and just take over the clan, as opposed to just sharing it and thing? And he's more like he's reacting more on like the emotional level. She's thinking, kind of like strategically, and he's like, nah, these guys, they disrespect us. They have no respect for us. And
right.
How you gonna like, it's like, it's like as if black people were slaves, and all of a sudden, now we're not slaves. Now we even have the power to control the country, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then there's going to be argument. They're like, well, some black people, like in this situation like that, which is not real, right? Which didn't happen. In a situation like that, I can imagine some black people be like, well, if we could take over the country, why are we going to share power with white people who just made us slaves? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you're going to have some other black people like, it's like, yeah, that's true, but we got to move on past that and come together as people, because that's how
which is true.
There will be people who say that, right? And then there will be people like, nah, what are you talking about? Yo, they just made us slaves. So Kingsley's like that guy who's like, yo, they just made us slaves. How you gonna want to share in things? And Queenie is more like the other side. So it's like that's how they're bumping. That's why that's how he manages to oust her, right? He emotionally, most people would be thinking like Kingsley, like, nah, these guys just made us, these guys, they disrespected us, they treated us like garbage, and why would you even want to share power? So he was able to kind of usurp her because of that. But she's more of like a forward-thinking person. She doesn't, she tries to be a little bit more analytical. So that's where the differences between them come in. I kind of like that, because it was like, and then their dialogue too, because I wanted to get inside the mind of Kingsley, because there's still that like, hey, there's a line to it where he says, you claim you hate them, but you're still seeking their approval. You know what I mean? And so there's a little bit of that too, because like sometimes, even though like you might hate somebody, if somebody who thought you were like just garbage or something,
right,
and you hate them, but there might be still that psychological part of you who's still seeking approval, subconsciously about it.
But Kingsley seems like the type of character that also he seems like the type that's he's smarter than the average bear too as well, because obviously he's shown and proved for these people as they were pledging their allegiance to him in the meeting. It seems like he gets the job done too. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think he's that guy who's going to use leverage. He wants to be the top dog. He seems like he's drunk with power, because like
you think so?
It looks like he can't get enough. Like I feel like once he gets this power, that's not enough. He doesn't want.
And then on top of that, I like what's my man with the alligator?
Oh, Coperon.
How he rolled up and was like, yo, if you need any help, you know what I'm saying, let me know,
he's like
old dog. He like old dog.
Let me know.
Hey, I'm with all the smoke.
Yeah, he just doesn't give a fuck kind of
Yeah.
guy. You know, he's just like
dog.
He'll say almost anything. You know what I mean? Just like whatever pops up to mind, he just don't care. And he's like, and you saw his reason for joining Kingsley was more like, oh, we about to stir some shit up.
Yeah, he just like
everybody else like other reasons, and he's like, nah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So and the odds are against us. He's like, it sounds like fun.
Hey, I love it, man. I love it. And I even love how you put that. You had what's my man named the demon? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the names, but the demon that was old girl told him, she was like, you still tripping over what happened thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
I love that conversation right there. That one. I want to know more about that. What happened? What'd you do?
Yeah.
Was he right? Was you wrong? You know what I'm saying? I want to know what popped off right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's I mean, all of us probably had at one point like some girl like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, word.
Who
Man, come on, bruh.
Something that we thought was like super fucked up. Years passed by. We still got that grudge, but it ain't that like serious now. And then, but you still kind of cold to her, and she's like, "Well, you still mad?" Like, hell yeah, I'm still mad.
Yes, I'm still mad. Yes. What do you mean?
Oh man,
oh man,
that shit was dope.
It's such a good book. It's amazing. Definitely gonna keep reading. Artist is amazing. I did want to ask. I know when I was trying to get on, you was talking about something with Tyler the Creator. What was that?
Oh yeah. They were just asking me if I was listening to what was I guess on my rotation list as far as hip hop goes. I was about to say that. Huh?
He's in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say that I wasn't listening to any rap right now. Because I'm just listening to some crazy stuff, just for writing purposes.
Oh yeah,
mood music.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's called mood music. Yeah. I want to ask you, growing up, what was your go-tos? Like, I got to see what's happening next.
You mean for music or for
No, I'm talking about with comics, and also you're from the Bronx.
Yeah, I live in the Bronx. I grew up in Brooklyn. I did a short, horrible stint in Queens, and I lived in Harlem for a little bit. Harlem. Yeah. But yeah, I'm basically every place except Staten Island. But Staten Island don't count.
Growing up, what was you grabbing? What was you grabbing in your possession? You spending your money on?
Oh man, I
girls.
I love. Oh,
no, I'm talking about comics, man. What you talking about? This dude rocks. I'm talking about comics.
Yeah, comics. Man, I loved everything. Believe it or not, it was like I just loved comics. Everything I read, I liked. I liked the Fantastic Four. I liked the Avengers. I liked Thor. Wolverine. I mean, there was nothing really that like I was like, oh, this is my favorite.
Okay.
I just like
all of it.
Yeah, I just loved everything. I mean, I remember I used to love the Avengers too. I just used to love the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. I remember I fell in love with Thor when he was in Secret Wars, and there's this scene where he's on top of the ship and he's just like, "Cacao," just knocking off asteroids. I was like, man, I was like, yo, Thor is badass. And I was like, and after that, I was like a Thor fan, like forever. I mean, I was a big Marvel Comics fan. I mean, that's like there was nothing that I didn't like. I liked even the corniest stuff, man. I was like,
what about Image?
Image?
How did you feel about? Like, did you pick them up when you were younger, like Spawn and all that stuff too?
See, that's the thing. I'm about to age myself. When I was like,
go ahead, do it. You on here with some old dudes, man.
I was already like, I think Image came out when I was in college. So I graduated high school in '91. I'm trying to think when Image came out.
Young?
Yeah, I'm not that young. So I was like, so when Image came out, I think I was in college, and when I hit college, we usually broke. I didn't have any money, so I wasn't collecting any comics for a while.
Oh, okay.
So, but Image, yeah, I wasn't really doing Spawn or any Image stuff. There was a long time when I just like stopped collecting comics because, like I said, I was in college and I was broke. And then, you know, after I finished college and started working, that's when I started kind of picking up on comics again.
What's the one
so that was probably like
comics? What was the book that did it for you? What was the book that you was like, holy shit, this is the book?
Hooked back to comics or like
no, the one. Well, yeah,
I want to know that too.
Started and the one that got you back. The one that got you started and the one that got you back.
So, well, the one book I have to say that really influenced me is so when it's funny because when I was younger, I was really into only superhero comic books. If it wasn't a typical superhero comic book, I thought it was weird. I was like, yo, this is some weird shit. So like a lot of people would be like, yeah, Watchmen. I was reading Watchmen. I was like, what? I was like, it's not really a superhero comic. That was my thing. And what's the other book that people be talking about? They be talking like the DC Vertigo books. I forgot. They be like, oh, when I first read it,
Vertigo.
And I was like, yeah, when I was 11 years old, I was like, nah. To me, those were weird comics. You know, I was like. So like, but the one thing that everybody, it was the Batman Dark Knight series that really, like, I was like, that really turned my, like, I was like, damn, I was like, okay, comic books aren't what I thought they were, you know what I mean? Or like what they could be something a whole lot more. So
yeah,
that was my thing. I was like, the Dark Knight was like I think the first really. Well, the Dark Knight, and then there was this other I forget which issue of X-Men it was, but they're shopping in it. They're shopping for at Christmas time, and I was like, oh man,
I know which one you're talking about. That's the one where
it was like
Iceman was, or not Iceman, Cannonball fought your guy. What's that guy you guys like? That old punk ass dude I said Cannonball beat.
Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator. I think is that the one where he's fighting Gladiator. And
I don't remember who they fighting. All I remember was that they were Christmas shopping, and then you know they wrote that into the scene. I was like, man, I think that was the first time I seen them do like regular stuff,
regular life shit.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, even with Peter Parker, like they made him have a regular life, but he wasn't always doing like regular life shit. You know what I mean? It was like, you know. But when I saw them Christmas shopping, it just like dawned on me, like, okay, they're making these people like people. They actually
they're real people.
Yeah, like real people. So then that kind of like affected me. And then later on, like I said, Kirkman's Walking Dead really took me by surprise. That's what really, like, after that I was like, yo, I want to make my own comic. And then when I saw the second part of it too, it was like, you know, how things come together. It was like that, and then the fact that there was a Kickstarter. I was a big Kickstarter person, but I was like fun. I would back like technical stuff because I'm into gadgets and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would have these cool like technology projects, and I'd be like, all right, let me back that. But then I saw they had like a comic book section, and then when I saw like the creators who were doing it, it was like, you know, people like me who was doing this on the side. But the quality of the comic books were like crazy. I remember which was here it is.
Hey, I want to look through his shit. I want to rummage through your shit. You ready for something?
So this right here is the first ever Kickstarter comic book I ever backed. Right now, this here. I like the artwork, you know, and it was a pretty good book, really solid, good quality, and well written. And I was like, yo, if you could do this as a regular person on Kickstarter, I was like, yo, I could just make my own comic books. You know what I mean? And so, and shout out to what's her name? I can't believe her name. Spike. She's this young black lady, and she's the publisher of Iron Circus Comics.
Okay.
Nice.
And yeah, she has her own publishing company, and she's the one who produced a PDF, and it showed you a step by step on how to do a Kickstarter campaign. And it basically was like the groundwork was like, well, you should take this into account. You should calculate shipping, and this and that, and then you should do this, and it laid out the steps for you. So I was like, yo, here's the recipe book right here. So I was like, all right. I was like, and then my
You call it a recipe book, man.
yeah, it was like it was like yeah, it was like yeah. So so I was like, yo, she spelled it out here, and then I was like, then I had to think of like a business model because like you as a comic book creator, you could go about it differently. You could just like start creating a comic book yourself, and you'll go to cons, and then build your audience that way. Yeah. But the business model that I saw that I wanted to do was like what people were doing was they do web comics, right? They put it out on the internet. The web comics were free, and then they would build an audience. And as you build an audience, you launch a Kickstarter, and there would be already people waiting for your book there, right? So the only thing about that is that it takes a while. It takes a year or 2 years. Some people don't come out with a book until like maybe 3 years. But the idea is that you're building your audience before you actually have the book. And so I was like, and it's crazy too, because then that model is kind of counterintuitive, right? Because you're basically giving away your comic for free because it's a web comic, right? Yeah. People's already read it, right? And your next thought is like, yo, why would somebody buy something that they already read online? But the thing is, it still works. Because when I was reading about it, they were like, oh yeah, most people when they had successful Kickstarters, they were doing these web comics for free, and they built an audience, and the audience was ready, and they still bought the book even though they read it online. So I was like, okay, at first it doesn't make sense, but it's been proven. So I was like, okay, a lot of people have done it and they've made a lot of money. I was like, so why would I say no to this? So I was like, yo, let me do the same thing. Crescent City Monsters is a webcomic. In fact, I think if you go to crescentcitymonsters.com, let me check right now. Crescentcitymonsters.com, you can read the first 2 issues for free.
What was the name of that lady's publishing house again? What was that? Circus?
Yeah, Iron Circus.
Iron Circus.
So I want everybody watching this to go. Where can you get this, Newton?
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you go to DreamFuryComics.com, you can.
DreamFuryComics.com. This is gonna blow your fucking top off, man. It's gonna blow your scalp off, man. I also wanted to talk to you about your new story coming out. Crescent Keisha, the Demon Eater.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen on your on your Instagram, you talking about how you was gonna release it. Explain that a little bit. You was gonna release it in a novella. Is that how you said?
Yeah. Because a novella is like it's like a shorter version of a graphic novel, right? It's gonna be a graphic novella. So the idea is usually when I did my first issue, I was really planning to do like a graphic novel. I wanted to do like maybe like 4 or 5 issues into in one book instead of doing like separately. But financially, that would be a struggle because I would have to wait so many years before I could even print the book. So I had to do 1 issue at a time. This time, and the that's not that bad, but the problem with that is like when you do your first issue, people automatically be like, "Yo, when's the second one coming out?"
Yeah.
So it's like,
hey Newton, when's the next one coming out? Right?
Yeah. So you're like, damn. So you're like you got, you gotta wait. It's like it's gonna be a while, and then people keep asking you, and you feel kind of bad, like you're like, yeah, next month.
I got you.
Yeah. So, but this time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it longer. Like instead of 1 issue, even though it's gonna take some time, I want it to be at least 2 issues long. So I was like, you know what? About 50 pages is just about right. It's not too long. It's not too short. People might have to wait for a while, but I was like, I think if I tell that they're still gonna say, hey, when's the next issue? But at least I think they'll have enough where they're like, okay, you know, that was satisfying. And
hey, you
the
feeding the fiends, man. You out here
Yeah,
feeding
yeah.
the fiends, man. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
Creating that demand.
I'm excited about it because originally I wasn't gonna because currently we put Crescent City Monsters on hold to do Keisha because Gene could only do one book at a time.
Mhm.
So I was like, I wasn't gonna do Keisha this soon. But then when I posted that first picture of Keisha, I think you can see her in the background
That
right
splash
here.
of color. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
That's hard.
Man.
that picture, people just went like bananas. I was
Yeah.
like, word. I was like, okay. I was like, damn. I was like, okay. And then, you know, an artist was like, he even did like a homage, and then this other artist did it, and I was like, man, I was like, I've never seen. I know people love Crescent City Monsters, but I've never seen like an initial reaction like I did with Keisha.
Yeah.
So, and then plus it was a female character, and I have 2 daughters, and
Mhm.
you know, they it's gonna sound funny, but you know, they're not really into my stuff.
They never are, man. Hey, same here, bro.
Because like I told you, one of them is into manga and, you know, anime, and you know, to her comic books isn't the same thing as manga.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
It
so
will
it's
never
like,
be.
yeah, it'll never
Hey, we
be.
had that same problem with Rocks. He's the manga
Yeah,
guy. You
yeah,
had the
him,
same problem.
him diagonal from me. I don't want to be on camera right now.
So yeah,
Tell us. Go ahead.
so I was like, oh man, I was like, maybe now I can make a, you know, story that my daughters will actually want to read. So I was like, yo, let me do Keisha Demon Eater, because
So
everybody was really excited about it. And I'm kind of excited. I'm really excited about the story too, because it's I think it's gonna be a dope story. I think people are gonna really like this, like the character.
I was just about to say, tell us a little bit about Keisha, whatever you can.
Yeah, so you know, the whole the tagline is like, you know, Keisha is sent to a town in the Midwest that has a lot of secrets, but you know, she has secrets of her own. That's like the quick, you know, one liner. But what it really is about, it's about this girl who she gets possessed by a demon, and the demon that she happens to get possessed by um, gets powered and consumes other demons. So she
Mm.
goes around eating demons, right? And there's something about her that why the demon was able to possess her body. She possesses certain attributes that you'll discover as the story goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, she's put in. She starts off in New Orleans, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit Crescent City Monsters crossover because the
Oh, I
grunch is,
like it.
but it's only a tiny, because I didn't want to
Oh,
really
okay.
put too much. Like the grunch is actually in her, like in her first thing too.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
they make a quick appearance, and they actually mention Kingsley. Um, so like, but then she's sent to a town where she has to kind of like, she's sent to a town with her aunt so she could get help in, you know, releasing this demon. But the town and the aunt themselves have all these secrets that like that she gets involved with, and like that makes her that brings out her powers as a demon eater. And the reason I like it is because the when I part of her powers come from this African lore or myth. It's based on a myth. I think it's from like somewhere in the Congo. I forgot which the exact tribe or whatever. But her demon powers is based on that. But yeah, I'm still working on the pitch because as I'm explaining it right now, I'm like, man, this doesn't sound as exciting as but yeah, but you know, I'll get there.
I feel you. No,
I did want to touch a little bit more on Crescent City Monsters. I know you said you put it on hold for now, so there's probably not too much you want to reveal about it. But as far as the, you know, kind of the subplots go, where you got Samdi and Callie, the grunch is already kind of a big part of it and everything. But then Box and Brittany, like at some point, are all these characters going to kind of come together, or is like Callie and Sammy on
what you doing?
are they going to kind of be their own thing?
That's
That's why I'm trying to keep it general. Like I don't want to dive into details like Jonas and Malcolm. Why are they combined? Like I don't want to do that.
They're gonna eventually all the stories are gonna combine. At one point I was like, man, this is too many subplots. I need to chill.
No. Fine, bro. Yeah.
Boy, hey, I had to get back on here. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Hey.
I was like,
we got a good mix here.
well, and the thing is, what I did on purpose too was that like every character and every subplot, I wanted it to be like, yo, this could be a spinoff. You know what I mean? Like, like every character and subplot in there, if you think about it, like when like I could just make a spinoff on like, even the brother and sister, Callie and Baron Samdi, that could be a spinoff.
Hey, real?
I could see the spinoff with off just the Katrina part, like that whole war. That was man, that is just right there. Hey, just to see the Kingsley rise to power.
Hey, that's what I was asking. That's what I was
Hey, so Newton, I know it's a different time out there. You let us know when we can stop grabbing up on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Getting your brain and tugging on your brain, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
coming, man. I got a question. So in the beginning of the book, there was a scene with Charlotte and Jonas. And so it was Muhammad Ali's birthday not too long ago, and Muhammad Ali was kind of talking about this, about how how racism differs from the North and the South. So he was saying Jonas was like, you can go up north, you know what I'm saying, and you know they got Jim Crow up there, but you're not gonna be treated any better. I want to know where did that come from? Like, where did you pull that from? Is there any kind of like personal experience?
That's
like,
from. It's interesting that you say that because, believe it or not, that comes from my interest in. So I'm in New York City, and for the past maybe like 4 or 5 years, I was like, yo, I want to move down south, right? Mm-hmm. And then some people here, in New York or in the North will be like, yo, why you want to move down south? I don't want to see any I don't want to see any I love it though. Confederate flags flying around. I was like, and it's funny too because I used to be like that too, but then for my 9 to 5, I'm an IT consultant, and for a while I was traveling back and forth between New York City and Charlotte, and I was like, at first I was a little nervous. I was like, damn, I gotta go down south, and I gotta deal with some rednecks and Confederate flag flown thing, whatever. And I was like, all right, so let me go down there. I went down there, and man, I'm telling you, Charlotte was like my second home. I loved it down there. I was like, yo, the white people here are nicer than the ones in New York. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why, because it's that Southern hospitality. Like this one black girl, when I said that, she was like, "Well, they are, but it's not like they're gonna invite you to their home." You know what I mean? But and I understood that. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, "Yo," I started thinking about the whole dynamics, and then I realized, like, I was thinking that there's that story that Frederick Douglass in his book talks about, where he's like, he was walking down and there was like a group of slaves talking amongst each other, and they started arguing about whose master was the best, and it got so heated that it got into a fight. And I realized, like, yo, this is the same kind of thing that I'm thinking about that's happening to me too. I was like, I'm like, yo, in my mind, I'm trying to justify which master is the best, right? Because, and then I started thinking about, I was like, yo, New York is like really racist too. I'm thinking about like all the stuff when I went through as a teenager. I was like, I would walk up into the department store. Immediately, people start following me.
Yeah.
And I kid you
Oh
not.
yeah.
It was like catching a cab in Manhattan was almost impossible. I had to be like with my white friends, like, yo, can you help me a cab? They're like, what do you mean? I was like, yo, they won't stop for me. You can't help me a cab.
Right.
And even like things like you walking by, you hear the car click, ladies catching it first.
Yeah.
And, I started thinking about like all that stuff, and I was like, just because they don't have the Confederate flag in New York, don't mean it's like it might not be as bad, but yeah, I have this saying that standing in 1 feet of shit is better than 3 feet of shit, but you still standing in shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like
exactly. You can put some potpourri around some dog shit. It's still gonna be dog shit. You know what I'm saying?
And then I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about like how the mindset is like, and that's why I'm taking a long way to answer your question, but that's where it comes. That's where it comes from, the idea that like, okay, you might think like you're better off in one place, but you're not exactly. It's not really as good as you make it seem. You know what I mean? It's not like you're still not free. You know what I mean? There's still things that you have to deal. And I mean free in the sense of totality, not like, oh, I'm a slave. I mean free in all respects. Economically, politically.
Stop and Frisk wasn't that long ago, though. You know what I'm saying? Like what you talking about? Stop and Frisk just ended like what 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years, 5 years ago.
So when you're talking about it in that scene, that's why I was curious on where you got that from, because I mean, just being there, just because you're in one place doesn't mean necessarily that like, oh, you're better off. So no, when I read that after I got done reading the whole book, that's the part that I kind of went back to. I was like, oh, okay, I want to know where that came from. And I mean,
I'm glad you asked that, because believe it or not, that was like my version of shots fired.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that scene. Hey, it may be cliche, but that scene in "Don't Be a Menace" and "Menace to Society," Hurry Up and Buy. That's some real shit. I'm from LA at that time, and that's real. That's real. They used to be tripping on you, bruh. So yeah, that's Hey man, I want to say I can't wait what's next, but I can't wait to what's next. And I need you to come on here, man, when you drop anything, bro. We need you on here every time you drop, like, whatever. You want to drop a short story, come here.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's always good when I come on the show and like you can see that, whoever's interviewing you actually read the book and make a lot of connections, because you guys were asking questions that that sometimes I wonder if like people pick up on, because there's a lot of things in there. So it's like, and the thing about the movie, the good thing is right now.
Exactly. I heard
so right now the movie called The First Purge, not The First Purge, but the actual movie called The First Purge is I think the third Purge in the Purge series. It's called The First Purge. The director for that, Gerard McMurray, he's writing the treatment so we can shop it out to Hollywood right now.
Wow.
I just want to let you know, if you need me to play somebody, you can get my career popping. I have my teeth. Look, I got I'll start talking like Gambit if I have to.
Hey, bro, that is great news to my ears. I'm glad I just heard that, bro.
Yeah, cross your fingers though. The only thing is though, so like the way it works in Hollywood is like a shopping agreement is like, I'm getting shopped around is like only like the first step. You know what I mean? It's like you're not even at the door yet. You're trying to get in the door.
Oh, it's a wrap. Let me tell you something new. Now I don't mean to be rude, bro. It's a wrap, my dude. It's a wrap.
Flat out.
Man, it's a wrap.
That's how
this is like nothing.
Off the page, man.
Hold on. This is like nothing Bro, I'm here to tell you, man. I've been reading for 28 years. I've read everything. This is not. I can't
Besides
read
One
this
Piece.
and pinpoint it to anything.
No,
Bro,
yeah.
you got something here very special, my guy, and I'm a future congratulate you because it's a wrap.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man.
And
I'm gonna
make
see
them
you
stay
on
true to
set.
what you got.
Hold on.
Make them stay
Go
true to
ahead,
what
go
you
ahead.
got.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just telling him I'm gonna see him on set when I'm playing the character. Hey, Newt. It was
Hey, Newton, I appreciate you, man. Hey, I know it's late out there, brother. I thank you for coming on, my guy.
Yes.
It's we would love to have you on anytime, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, anything that comes up, I'm gonna reach out to you guys and let you guys
Oh
know.
man, for real. Please
I
do.
enjoyed myself, man. You guys
You want to give your IGs and stuff, fam?
Yeah, and everything across the board, you can find me at Dream Fury Comics.
Okay,
but
fire.
Yeah.
Hey, so just to wrap things up real quick. So you said the God Killer, it would have took out anybody that wasn't a god, right?
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Anybody. Yeah, and it would have
he
taken
tried
out
to do that. Don't let him do that to you.
anybody
He trying to
who's,
lie to you.
Go
Trying to
ahead,
go
Noon.
back to that.
Go ahead, Noon. Right before you go, let's close it out with this right here. Go ahead. What'd you say?
So yeah, if somebody had a weapon as a god killer, he should be able to take out anybody, unless and he should be able to take out anybody who has like a who wouldn't be able to withstand a weapon.
Okay.
Like let's say Spider-Man, But the only thing about comic books, which is kind of tricky, is even if somebody had a god killer, even like someone like Batman could figure out how to disable the god killer guy. You know what I mean? So
it's in the Matrix, nigga. It's always a switch to be flipped.
Yeah, there's always something to be switched. Yeah, it's like there's always something to it. But yeah, I mean, and those are the kind of arguments that you could go on forever. Like I said, there's like I said, it could be like, oh, maybe this weapon's only a god kill, like you can't kill humans, or you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? like for example, like the only way to kill a vampire, right, is to drive a stake through the heart, right? But that only works with a vampire. Other monsters, it won't work, right? They'll just laugh it off and smack you away, right?
Okay, so hey, Newton, thanks for telling me that I was right. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that I was right. You know what I'm saying? And thanks for coming on and diving into your book. I encourage anybody that wants to see something crazy, something you never seen before, read this motherfucker right here. Please. Hey, bruh. So I got this, and I literally flew through it in like probably an hour. You know what I'm saying? I called up each one of these dudes. I said, yo, y'all need to get this comic right now. Bruh, I thank you for that, for coming on here and diving into your book, my guy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. I look forward to whatever else you got coming, brother.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
Your creativity as a writer is amazing. Like the way you describe stuff and the way you took these typical monsters and switched them up to your own thing. I love it. I love it.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
No doubt, man. Thanks for coming on, mommy.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Peace.
Later.
Hey, so fellas.
Yeah.
Are y'all glad y'all read this motherfucker, man?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man.
Because having him here to break things down like that just added to it, dog. It just really added to it.
That was fucking.
Hey, I was like,
epic.
What's good, Lambros? I ain't seen that name in a long time.
Oh yeah. What's up, man? Hey, bruh. Hey, I want to know what kind of, is she gonna fuck my man with the? Is she gonna give my man the ass? I'm like, is he gonna go there? Newton, go there, man.
This man worried about the booty and not why he two different niggas. Right?
Nah, hold on.
He having a whole identity crisis.
Hey, I can't have a side story like Rock's got. Rock's want a side story. I want a side story too.
That's gonna be we gonna have a booty call side story, nigga.
That's
Tommy
gonna be,
Davidson and Jamie Foxx.
that's gonna be real short because he ain't had none in a while. So the short story gonna be real short.
Hey, you don't know that, nigga. You don't know that, nigga. Hey, it's a mind thing. It's a mind thing, goddammit, nigga.
Man's gonna have to go for round 2.
Hey, it's a mind thing, goddammit. What you talking about, man? You get your mind clear, you're all day.
Hey,
You know
when you ain't had none in a long time, you know, you get mad excited. You know, you're like a kid in the candy store. Hey, oh, booty.
He gonna switch personalities on that bitch. That was Malcolm. Hey, Jonas here now, bitch.
Hey, bro. Hey, wasn't y'all like this? I was like this, my guy. I was like, whoa, yes.
Like I couldn't even turn the page without examining the artwork more. Like I read it, then I stopped, and I'm looking at everything. I'm like, this shit is nasty, dog.
Hey.
It's like his artwork almost feels 3D. Like
I got exactly
his skills are fucking insane.
Exactly. I'm over here studying the damn way this man does his work. Man. That's what I'm on. Being an artist too. Like nigga, I was over here like, what the fuck? I was like, so he put like he lightened some things and darkened some things to bring more stuff to the front. Like nigga, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy, and that's wild. He said like he found him on DeviantArt, which I didn't think DeviantArt was still relevant like that. ArtStation is another. I'm actually on Art. I'm on both sites actually, but I use ArtStation more. I think I even told you about ArtStation.
Yeah, you did tell me about ArtStation.
Hey, I'll be on all this shit, man. Because you just never know.
I feel it, and that's another thing. I've been trying to figure out how to link all that crazy shit together, but man, listen,
seems we just gotta post in everywhere.
This shit right here, absolutely incredible, bro. Absolutely incredible. The man writes beautifully, nigga. It was a page turner at the end of the day, man.
My bad, fellas. Hey,
to put you through the each like the paneling.
Newton back in here.
Welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
I just wanted to say one thing. I just thought of something. I set up a discount code so you can tell people that, you know, for like the next week or two they get 30% discount if
fire.
See what we doing for y'all? See what we got for y'all?
Yeah. They can just type in cave. It's just simply just cave. They just type in cave at checkout and they get 30% discount.
Fire. Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get one for my daughter because she wants this one, but I can't give it up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your own. You know,
you're in the same house.
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's mine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you know, I can set up a special discount for you guys.
So. Oh my! Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
hey, my guy.
30% off on the physical copies. So
wow.
I guess
that's love.
Hey, we're collectors, man. We coming for everything you got.
I already got 2 of them. I'm getting another one. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah.
Hey,
let's make sure the code is Luffy.
No. You know who that is? You know who that is, Newton?
Please.
You said Luffy?
Yeah, do you know who Luffy is?
No.
He's from a show called One Piece, man. Don't even worry about it, man. Don't even worry about it.
The greatest manga ever made.
Hey, thanks for coming back on and doing that for us, man. I appreciate that. That's dope.
No problem, man. Peace.
All right, man.
All right, peace, bro.
Hey, so
y'all gonna start hating on Luffy.
Another hey, he didn't know who he was. Nigga, don't get mad. Hey, I was just telling him. Okay, here's my explanation on that. I felt like it's too long of a story for me to explain to him, so I said, "Don't worry about it."
No, that's right. I saw your face. I said, "Luffy." You said, "Oh, this nigga." You know when a nigga start doing some shit, you just like, "Oh, this nigga acting up again."
Hey, you ever got hated on another nigga like that?
Yeah.
You ever got hated on another nigga? Oh, this fuck. What you want to talk to that nigga for? You know what I'm saying? Hey. Oh, that's funny, nigga. I ain't gonna say no name. I remember this sucker. Oh, girl. Anyway, Yeah, let's move on, nigga. Let's move on.
What
Nigga.
up?
Hey, nah, I'm just saying, niggas be hating, bruh. Hey, niggas, hey, I'm talking about in my younger life, a nigga will hate on you.
Yeah,
Because you talked to somebody that you wanted to talk to. You done weaned out somebody you wanted to wean out.
Hey.
So the nigga got some kind of like animosity against you. Why you got that for me, man?
Hey, that's dirty macking right there. That's what it's called. They dirty macking.
Macking.
They dirty macking. They out here
sliming, nigga. That's called sliming. Hey, King Slime.
King Slime.
Trying to hit that.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I probably just slimed some dudes back then. Now that I think about it. Back in my younger years, you know.
You was out here dirty macking?
Oh shit!
Nah, hell no.
I can't say I've never done it. I don't care. Look at it.
Nah, I was just playing, nigga.
I've had opportunities, nigga. I've had opportunities come up, but not have I never.
Nah, I think it's some kind of like, hey man, come on, man, man, go ahead, man. You ain't gotta do all that. Just go ahead and do your thing, man. You ain't gotta mention me. You ain't gotta say nothing about me.
Don't gotta bring me up. Don't use my name.
Yeah. Hey, well, anyway, man. Hey,
X. No, I know a lot of people, so I don't.
Yeah, man, come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey. So Idris Elba might play James Bond. Y'all hear about this? I know that's been a thing, but he's going to play.
5 years.
What they said 5 years he's gonna do it?
That's been like a thing for like
it's been a thing
for like 6 years now.
Yeah, but the nigga's kind of crunchy. The nigga's kind of crunchy though. He's kind of crunchy around the eyes and shit. So I don't know.
Hey,
nigga,
hoes love that nigga, yo.
Nah, man, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about his like he didn't look too. He didn't look like he was doing it too well in Suicide Squad. I don't know, nigga.
What about? I forgot how you did in what's the Fast and the Furious one.
He did all right.
Oh yeah, he did all right. He did all right.
There we go.
Hold on, he did all right.
That's all you need.
Hey, I hate to do this. This is whack, but Tom Cruise out here smacking it up. I ain't mean to put this Elva and then bring Tom Cruise, but I'm saying that nigga's kind of smacking it up, bro.
What you mean?
You got it. I'm talking about with his action choreography.
Yeah, like he's still smashing with Mission Impossible.
He's like 76, nigga. He's about 7. I think he turned 76 March something like that. He was 76 years.
Tom Cruise can't be that fucking old, nigga. Ain't no goddamn 76. This nigga put him over Jackie Chan right now.
Right.
Hey, at one point Jackie was using stunt doubles and shit. So.
He was, because he was fucking.
Yeah, because he was breaking every bone in his body.
I think that nigga will still beat my ass. Hey,
that nigga was jumping from buildings, snapping legs.
See, Rox, that's the problem, nigga. The nigga's like 72 pounds, nigga. What are you? He's like a tiny guy. So what are you just gonna say? He can whoop your ass?
No, listen. Him and Jet Li. I think Jet Li. Listen.
I'll slap them niggas up. Listen, I'll give them niggas a mean slap, nigga.
Hey, I think Jet Li. In my head, all the movies I've seen of Jet Li, that is the most deadliest nigga I've ever met.
Hey, it's a movie, man.
Hey,
I'll slap him around.
Actual speed and accuracy. You don't think these motherfuckers actually practice their art?
Hey.
I'll put a jet-like punch right into the lead, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about?
This over here, man. You don't think none of these people fight?
Hey, I'll give Jet Li a jet right hand, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga.
In my head, Jet Li is the coldest nigga.
Hey, he was a dancer. He was a dancer. He wasn't no fighter. Come on, man. Y'all gotta be. Come on, man. They're entertainers, bruh.
Who was a dancer?
That don't mean they can really fight.
They actually can fight. You just think they look pretty?
I will fucking rip. I will push everything back. Jet Li won't have anything on his face. It'll be bare chin, nigga. I'll fuck him up. He's a tiny little guy, man.
Hey.
When them niggas, when he saw, when he served Riggs and Murtaugh, I was like, nigga, y'all some hoes, nigga. how the fuck he served both of y'all dudes, man? He served both of y'all. He's like 2 feet tall, nigga.
Oh,
if you don't step on that nigga, man, he'll get fucked up. Nigga.
What about Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I'll beat the John Claude off his name, nigga. He'll be nigga. You won't have that legally anymore, nigga.
That nigga will hit you in the face and you gonna say his last name. Damn.
Nah. Hey, people gonna say that when you see him, nigga. Damn, nigga, what the fuck happened to you, nigga? Yeah, nigga, nah. I don't take the only people I get. Here's the only people I say can really fight is Chuck Liddell because he was in a movie before. Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone was actually in A Harder They Fall. He had a little scene in there.
I'm waiting for you to say it. I'm waiting for you to say it. Hold
on.
Black dude.
Who? Hey, I'm about to say something fucked up. I don't think the nigga can really fight.
I
don't think Michael Jai White can really fight.
What?
Like really. Like get in the. I don't. Hey, no, hold on.
That nigga beating the brakes off you. Hey, to the point, I gotta help.
It's crazy you said that because I was actually watching a YouTube video where they were talking about that. Like they like his style and his skill, but if he was to really get in a fight with somebody else, they say they don't think he can really fight. They think he'll run from the smoke.
Listen, Kimbo can fight. Nigga.
Yeah, he can.
I seen him fight. Nigga.
Who said he can't fight?
Yeah, but he got his ass whooped when he went to the UFC though.
Who?
Yeah, he kind of beat some ass. He beat a little ass.
He did, but he got to get his weight.
They had to take him to the ground. Hey, they had to take him to the ground,
and then he started whooping ass. But that nigga was
but the ground's part of that shit though.
I know, but listen, I'm not taking him to the ground. Like,
I'm not. I'm not.
If I saw Kimba, I'm running. I ain't gonna lie.
but I can appreciate the ground. I can appreciate groundwork. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's like a chess match being done. So I'll fuck with both of them. I'm saying Michael Jai White. I don't know if he can fight. That's what I'm saying. I've seen these people fight. I've actually seen John Jones in a B movie, and I'm like, yeah, he can really fight because I've seen him fight.
Michael Jai White can fight.
Yeah,
you said what?
Fight.
Is that that's an assumption or is that a fact? Because the fact is John Jones can fight.
Well, John Jones said that Michael Jai White can fight.
Okay, well he said that, or did they have like a little sparring match?
Yeah, they did.
They had a play match.
What about Bruce Lee? Yeah, since y'all want to go here, what about Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee can fight.
You up.
Thank you so much. Bruce Lee can fight.
He fucking you up. Don't do.
Oh yeah, no. He will fuck me up in a movie, nigga. He'll fuck me up in a movie, nigga. Yeah, because the director in the script said that, nigga. Yeah, that's what he'll do, nigga.
This nigga, he folding.
Hey, we talking about actors right now. We talking about actors.
But he started as a kung fu nigga. What do you mean?
He started as a kung fu nigga. Where, when, why, and how, nigga? What did he do? Hey man. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey man.
You can do kung fu. Let's get you in a movie.
Oh, this is the last time I'm bringing this up. This is the last time I'm bringing this up. Do you feel like Tyson fought some bums, nigga?
No.
Yeah, he did.
What?
No.
Mike Tyson fought bums. Yeah.
No, not fought bums. Beat bums. He beat a bunch of bums. Would you say out of his 20 fights, he beat a bunch of bums?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
they're not bums because he was so good.
I'm gonna double this back. The reason why I feel like he battled a bunch of bums. Now, back in Bruce Lee's day, how many of them dudes was like some fucking like hogs over there fighting Bruce Lee? He probably fought like a fucking like little priest or something like that. The nigga that got off work. How do we know who are these contestants that he actually fought? We have none. We don't have any. What are you basing it off of? What are you basing it off of? You're basing it off his movies that he can fight. That's That's what the two guys at the bottom did.
Hey, okay. Hey,
That's the only proof that he can fight
That's
that you
not
have.
true. There's
Can
not a lot of
Demetrius
evidence of him doing
can Demetrius Johnson fight? Absolutely. I've seen him fight plenty of times. Have you seen Muhammad Ali fight? Hell yeah, plenty of times. Have you seen Rocky Balboa fight? Fuck no, I've never seen him. I've only seen him fight in a movie, nigga.
I would assume.
So that's what I have.
I would assume Sylvester Stallone can handle himself now.
Yeah, you would assume, but there's nothing based on. I done seen dudes. I can fight. Get in the ring and look fucking like a fucking novice.
No, I ain't talking about that. I would assume that Sylvester Stallone could probably handle himself. Like so, you talking about this fighting is like.
Have you ever seen him handle himself?
It's relative, right? So this is what.
Hey, Bobby, real shit. Have you ever seen him handle himself?
No, I've never seen him. I've never seen him handle himself. No.
Where you see him handle himself?
Oh, so hold on. So how many Rocky movies have there been?
There's been like 8. Nigga.
How many? Count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rocky Balboa 6.
All right, hold on.
Those Creed movies are about Rocky movies.
Okay, so let me ask you this. No, let's just talk about Rocky. So that spans the Rocky movie spanned around how many years?
Since like 1980s.
So
70s, yes. Rocky 1, yeah.
Somebody who's training to look like they can fight for over a span of 30 years? I would assume, not saying that they can, not that they world beaters, but I would assume that they can handle themselves. That's just from training. Boxing, because boxing, the thing about boxing is different than any other sport or any other style is that it's a reactionary and active and reactive style. So somebody shoot a jab at you, people normally slip or they counter. That's what you learn. That's what you learn just by doing it over and over and over.
Yeah. Okay. So if I was saying, hey, what you say, Sylvester? And I stole on him, he's gonna know what to do, nigga. He's gonna know what to do.
You don't think he
No,
I'm
punching him in his dentures, nigga.
Okay, but
I'm fucking up his plastic surgery. I'm fucking him up.
Yeah, but
no.
But that's not what I'm asking you though. You don't think because if you swing on it, you don't think he gonna be able to react?
No. That nigga gonna reach for his phone, nigga, to call the police.
He might. Oh yeah. I mean,
he's gonna be running for the hills, nigga. The fuck? Hell no. I don't think. Hey, I think these dudes are actors, and until we see them actually fight somebody, we can't give them fight cred. That's all I'm saying. And that should be all around the board, though. How you gonna go fight cred based off of what another nigga said? I know another nigga that say you whoop somebody's ass, and then I talked to them, and they was like, "Nigga, I beat the shit out this nigga. I got footage. I got footage of me fucking him up. It showed me. I was like, oh, this nigga. I believe this nigga."
For the longest time, I couldn't stand the fact that you like they can't fight. But I get what you're saying. It's almost like when you in school and you see a nigga dribbling with the air, nigga, and it look like the nigga got handled, and then he take the ball.
Exactly. He's doing all the moves. Get on the court, straight trash.
Straight trash. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
I mean,
look like you could do some shit.
Even with Bruce Lee, this is what you hear. This is what you hear about Bruce. It's like Bruce can fight, but you also hear Bruce can fight, but I used to choke the shit out of him all the time. So you hear like after a while, like Judo Gene Liddell, he was a real like famous grappler, judo dude, and he said he choked the shit out of Bruce all the time, just because Bruce wanted to learn how to fight on the ground. So he would choke Bruce, but then Bruce would bite him. You know what I'm saying? So and this dude is respected. Judo Gene Liddell, if you don't know,
I know he is.
He been in all these movies getting his ass kicked, but he can really fight.
He's really dope. Yeah, he exposed He exposed Steven Seagal's bitch ass.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
But if you pull up, like, if you ask him, like, hey, can he fight? They're like, can Bruce fight? He's like, fuck yeah, Bruce can fight. But now we talking about something compared to who? Is he like Mike Tyson? Like, who is he like? I don't think so. But in order to write the book that he wrote, you gotta be on some other shit. You gotta be.
Niggas be saying Muhammad Ali versus Bruce Lee. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
What?
But they don't.
You never seen that? You never seen that matchup?
No.
Yes,
No.
they've even done Tyson versus Bruce Lee. Tyson will fucking slam him on his head.
What?
Yeah.
Prime Mike Tyson will beat the living dog daylight.
Wait, but you said he fought
It'll be a
bums.
massacre.
So how do we know that he wasn't a bum?
Who's that?
Who?
Know that Bruce Lee wasn't a bum. Bruce Lee could have not been a bum.
Who?
But see, hold on, real quick. Bum is relative. Bum is relative.
You're saying that Bruce Lee might get mopped. He would get mopped by Mike Tyson in his prime. Now, Tyson in his prime was an animal. Now, I mean an absolute animal. But what y'all are saying, hold on. But what y'all are saying is that he was an animal that was getting fed bums.
Bum is
now,
relative.
I'm talking about his skill level as he was good skillfully. Hold on.
No, we're talking about a boxing bum is 15 to 15. That's 30 boxing fights. Probably another 50 or 60 amateur fights. Okay. That's kind of relative.
I'm talking about when he was young. Coming up through the rankings.
The street and often melee weapons and chains.
I think
hey, somebody mute whatever that is.
A boxing fight is different from a real fight. Boxing, it's not the same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
Yeah.
So when we
talking to an MMA dude, I know.
Oh yeah, even that's not a real fight. That's still not a real fight. Like motherfuckers be fighting and punching and biting, and that's not real. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about can he fight, that's you gotta see he's dead. So you kind of gotta go by what credible people are saying.
Right.
And some credible people are saying like, oh, he can throw down. Is he gonna beat Mike Tyson? I don't think so.
I like that clear up. You did. Yeah, buddy.
Tyson? I don't think so.
Hey, hold on. Hey, I hope. Hey, Bobby just inadvertently gave me a dub, nigga. But I'm gonna just move on from that.
But see, you're talking about like, oh, this guy did this and we never seen him fight. Just because you ain't never seen him fight doesn't necessarily mean you can't. Like I'm just looking like Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone. He can box. I can look and see he knows how to box. You can translate boxing onto the street. I feel like if somebody pulled up on him and he had to fight, I feel like he can handle himself. It makes sense. It makes sense.
In a movie for me.
Yeah,
no. he'll beat that nigga's ass in a movie. Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Sylvester Stallone in real life.
Okay.
I think they'd knock each other out.
Hell yeah.
It'll be a double KO.
I don't get what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying like these niggas only fight in a fake wrestling ring, and these niggas can only fight there.
Steve Austin used to backyard box.
Man, I ain't hearing what he used to do, nigga. I don't believe that. I think it came from. I question the source. I question the source. Hey, source. Show yourself.
So pro wrestling is a real fighting style, right? You know that, right?
Hold up.
Hold up.
Yeah. I know all about wrestling. Wrestling.
I'm asking you yes or no. You know that's a real fighting style, pro wrestling. You know that. You know that, right?
Fake fighting? Yeah, that is a thing. Fake fighting.
Actually, that's not true. But
no, fake fighting is a real thing.
Okay, pro wrestling, the actual style, that's a real. It's called catch-can wrestling. That's a real style. It's a real wrestling. No,
not Greco-Roman.
catch
A
can.
Greco-Roman wrestler will slam a pro wrestler on his fucking neck and break their shit in 6 places, nigga.
You don't know. See, yeah,
Because them niggas don't really fight. Hey, hold on. You tell. Hey, Bobby, you going far, my nigga. I want to stop you before you get too crazy, nigga.
No. Actually, you're talking about fighting. So if you're saying Stone Cold Steve Austin can't fight, yeah, he does. He does performative wrestling, but there's an actual style that they teach. It's called catch can wrestling. When you get over here, do your research.
Hey, I don't need to do my research because I'm talking about Steve Austin. Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Austin will grab somebody and break them in half. You
in that movie Condemned that he was in, like, he did that. Like, he did that in that movie, man. That's where he does those things. Like, nah.
You know who Sakuraba is?
Yes.
Sakuraba,
yes.
You know he does pro wrestling.
Yes.
Right? You know that's his style.
Yeah. And I don't think I never thought he could scrap. Like,
oh yeah, but he
never thought he could scrap. Like, hey, that's not all he knew though. That's not all he knew.
No, because you don't understand that pro wrestling is a real style. I'm trying to educate you.
No. Okay. Thank you. Stone Cold Steve Austin can't fight. Man.
Hold on.
Hey, Stone Cold, if you listening.
What about Brock
Stone
Lesnar?
Cold, if you listening, come to my garage. I'll fuck you up. I'll beat your ass.
So
you can't really fight.
Can Brock Lesnar fight? Because he started as a football guy to a fake wrestler, as you want to call it.
That's not true.
He had
University of Minnesota.
I was just about to say that.
What?
He was a division. He was a collegiate wrestler.
So why
in wrestling?
What about Kurt Angle?
Yeah,
he was too. He was too.
So he can fight, right?
Hold on. You see what you're trying to do? You see what you're trying to do?
Right. You just said
no, hold on. Listen. This is why you lose all this. This is why you lose at this, Rox. We're talking about Steve Austin. He did none of those things. He did none of those things. He was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, hell yeah, in the ring doing moves, nigga, that were fake and weren't real.
I guarantee you.
Kurt Angle really done it.
He was a wrestler. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar really done it. We're not talking about. We're not trying to do it. Even Idris Elba had a scrap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm saying we got footage of him fighting though.
Idris Elba got in a fight there.
Yeah, he got in a scrap.
My man cleaned out too.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
Come. I invite you to the crib, nigga. I'll beat your ass, nigga.
Yeah. Listen. Pro wrestling is a real style, man. It's a real style. Okay. It's an actual fighting style. It's an actual fighting style. I mean,
hey, cool. And he can fight the Undertaker, nigga, on SummerSlam '96.
Right. You don't know, like the school that they go to. You know, they actually learned that style of fighting.
Yeah, they learned the style of fake fighting, nigga.
No, it's no. You're not. Yeah, all right, man. All right. Look, don't mind,
man. I'm just saying. Okay, here's a better thing. Those moves are not going to work with me.
It's not better. You don't know what you're talking about.
The moves are nothing. Nigga.
Okay, they nothing, man.
He put my arm behind my back, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He taps my shoulder, nigga. He tries to jump. He tries to jump off the top rope. Nigga, I'm gonna fuck him up, nigga.
You know who Josh Barnett is?
Who? Yeah, Josh Barnett. Yeah, I know Josh Barnett. A steroid user. Yeah, that's what he is.
What does that mean, though?
That means he's used steroids. Nigga. What do you mean?
What does that mean, though? Your favorite fighter?
That he used steroids, nigga?
Your favorite fighter used steroids.
Who?
Your favorite fighter?
Nah, I never did.
Yeah.
Prove that. He talking about Mayweather. Prove that.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Prove it.
You know he did.
Nah. We gonna have to proof of that. Proof of that. I can show you proof of that nigga using steroids.
But hold on. So you bring up steroids like that's going to deter the point of him knowing pro wrestling.
No, I'm saying he needs to put a substance in his body to be tight.
Listen,
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, we talking right. We talking two different things though. Pro wrestling is the real fighting style.
I understand that. Okay.
When they go down to the school, they learn so if they can take the average man and ball their asses up.
Yeah. See what's my man DH say?
He can actually use.
Josh can actually fight. Actually use WWE moves in a real fight. Okay. Here's what I'm saying.
Hold on, X. Listen, if you don't know what pro wrestling, you can't say what you know.
I do know what pro wrestling is. Have you ever seen Tough Enough? Have you ever seen Tough Enough? Have you ever seen?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it, nigga?
I know it sounds funny, but I'll give an example of real fighters using pro wrestling. Talking about it, like I'm talking about something totally different.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait.
Vince McMahon sits down and he writes a little script.
Hey, hold up. I think Bobby has a really good point, and I think it's.
I digress. That's awesome that you think that, nigga. That's rad, nigga. But I disagree.
That's rad.
Right, nigga.
But it's a real fighting style.
Okay, hey Bobby. I want to understand. Okay, let me help me understand that you understand. Because
we had 2 hours, I know so I'm gonna leave y'all to it.
I know that it's a fighting style. Okay, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that he can jump off the top rope and fuck me up, nigga.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck if he's doing a head splash or an elbow smash.
That's what I'm talking about. Like if we talking about the actual style, you have
so
to
Macho Man Randy Savage can scrap.
Hold on, real quick.
They all can fight, I guess.
Okay, so this is the problem we're having. So it's about.
Hey, Rox, are you gonna let a nigga hit you with a leg drop, nigga? Are you gonna get hit with a?
I mean, my older brother did. I ain't gonna lie,
nigga. Y'all was in there wrestling, nigga. Cause y'all was in there fake wrestling, nigga.
No, that shit hurt. Like, I would go cry to mom, nigga. What do you mean?
Hey, you're not gonna get me in the $1 million dream, nigga. It's not gonna happen, nigga.
Hey, you ever got put in a sharpshooter?
Hey, you're not gonna come down. You're not gonna come down with a peacock on your arm. And call yourself Coco Beware and win a fight.
Did you know that's an actual move? Did you know that?
Yeah, the $1 million dream. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah. Hold on. So real quick, what makes you think that a 6'4", 230-pound man can't grapple, can't put somebody in a hole? What
okay, the $1 million dream.
No, what makes no? Answer the question. How many wrestlers? Like, have you ever wrestled before?
Yes, I've wrestled. Yeah, no, I have.
Okay, in middle school.
Yeah, but we talking about Ted DiBiase. Stop trying to get off the fact that Ted DiBiase does the $1 million dream, and he'll get fucked up.
He can do it to you.
He can't do that to me. He can't do that. He can't throw me against the ropes.
Yeah, he could.
And then I'm gonna come back from the ropes and then get into the $1 million dream. No, it's not happening.
There's virtual cold water on you after you wake up.
Because that's the only way he's gonna get it, nigga. That's the only way he's gonna get it. Is if he throws me against the turnbuckle and I bounce off that motherfucker, come back running, and he puts me in the $1 million dream in a wrestling match.
If it's a real fight.
Exactly.
Bobby said it's a real fight.
He will hurt
If it's a real fight, he's not just gonna grab me, nigga. He can grab me if he threw me against the turnbuckle,
Yeah,
nigga.
he's not just going. That's wrestling.
How long did you wrestle for? How long did you wrestle for?
Oh no, I didn't wrestle.
But it's
I
not
wrestled.
wrestling.
No, hold on.
Nigga, if you're not wrestling moves are basically if I'm stunned and fucked up.
I didn't say I was on the wrestling team,
I'm
nigga.
not asking you that. I'm asking you wrestled before?
I've wrestled, yes.
And where? Where'd you wrestle?
I wrestled my homie who was a college Greco-Roman. Hold on, he's a collegiate Greco-Roman champion.
Who?
He is.
Who is?
My homeboy.
So you didn't wrestle though.
No, I wrestled him.
Okay, but you didn't wrestle. Though.
Okay. I just told you I wasn't on the wrestling team, nigga. Okay, I didn't have on the wrestling gear, nigga.
Hey, so you telling me if I don't put you in the mandible claw, you ain't gonna be
Hey. Yeah. Hey, you know how you can get me in the mandible claw? Throw me up against the ring and then have me come back, nigga, and then get me. You'll get me with that. In a wrestling match.
You don't think somebody can do a wrestling move on you?
Hold on. Since you want to talk about moves, can a nigga, you know a stunner is a real move, right? Can a nigga get you in a stunner?
Yeah.
Hey.
He get you too. He's strong enough.
Hey, hold on. Hey,
like just go ahead and gorilla
the only move.
Ass, like, nigga, how does that? I'm not gonna say it can't happen, but I'm just saying you gotta fuck a nigga up for it to happen. Like, nigga, you're not just gonna run up on a nigga and motherfucking
and talk shit to him, kick him in the stomach.
Right. You're not gonna do that, nigga.
The whole problem is
he ain't talking shit
you gonna
to
have
him,
to fuck a nigga up for a little bit, then kick him in the stomach and get that. Nigga.
The only move that's working is the sweet chin music.
In a wrestling match.
That's the first thing I thought of. That really works.
It sounds funny, but no.
In a wrestling match.
No, that works in real life.
That's fucking people up.
I think you can tag somebody with that motherfucker.
Hold on, let Bobby go.
Yeah, because of the UFC, you know how to stop a takedown. But could you do that though against a real wrestler? You probably could.
Yeah, I've sprawled on a real wrestler.
Yeah. Could you? How you defend a single leg?
Right.
How do you defend the double leg? So what I'm telling you is these dudes.
You asked me if I've sprawled. I've sprawled.
Stop. All right, I get it, man. You got the jokes, but we talking real shit. Like we talking fighting. This is my shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, this is my shit. This is my shit.
No, it's not. Because you think
that, no. This is my shit. We're not talking about professional wrestling, nigga.
Yeah,
we're not talking about that, nigga. We're talking about real fighting, nigga.
Yeah, that is real fighting though. Pro wrestlers real now, and they learn how to wrestle and grapple.
Name me one nigga that was hella good.
Yushi Sakuraba.
Sakuraba wasn't that guy, man. Niggas just talk about him. His ground game was nice, man. Hey, man, we ain't talking about he wasn't going out there scrapping in all elements, man.
Man,
he ain't scrapping in all elements, man. We talking about fighting. You want to talk about fighting? Fighting? He wasn't nice like Sakuraba was not nice like that, nigga.
What he fight in?
When we talk about the elites, they use Sakuraba because he's a legend. Nah, that don't mean he was nice, nigga. You know, I could tell you about some nice niggas, man.
Ken Shamrock, pro wrestler.
Shamrock was not. Hey, first of all, Shamrock did not do pro wrestling. No, he did not. He pro wrestled. He pro wrestled.
Later.
He did not do pro wrestling. No.
He did later.
No, watch this. Hold on.
Heel hooks. Where do you think they get that from?
Ken Shamrock did fight.
He did, but his grappling style.
Hey, Bobby, you fucked up. Hold on. Watch this.
Okay.
Oh, this somebody fuck up?
Yeah, he fucked up.
Mm-hmm. What's his style? How did that?
But he fought in what you call it too. He just didn't fight. He fought in the first UFC league, the very first shit with Hoist.
My shit was making a weird noise. Hold on.
I also saw CM Punk started
Gracie. He fought against Gracie. I want to say.
I also saw CM Punk started with wrestling and nothing else.
No, Bobby.
CM Punk does. He does UFC too, or he did before.
He did. He retired, but like I didn't see nothing in his background.
Man, y'all talking about some bums, nigga. Them niggas is trash, nigga.
Doesn't mean he can't fight. He just beat him. He lost his
nigga. Man, that nigga's garbage. Man, the fuck is you talking about, man?
Or it wasn't. It was Ultimate Fighting then. It wasn't the UFC.
It was He fought in Pancrase.
Yes. Exactly. Hold on.
I don't need to look it up though. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, hold on. And he was a kickboxer. And he was a kickboxer.
Yeah.
He done kickboxing too. What are you talking about, man? You talking about my shit now, nigga?
Who was?
Ken Shamrock.
Oh yeah. Did he wrestle?
He did as well. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Kim Shamrock started as something else before a wrestler.
No, he fought in the Ultimate Fighting tournament. Yes, but he was a.
He did MMA first.
Yeah, not MMA. It was way before it was MMA. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, same thing.
Hey, he also was in the WWE. Right?
And
he was WWF champion.
Way later.
You want to know how he transitioned so easy? Because he knew all the wrestler moves because it's a real style.
Hey, shoot fighting is what to you?
Shoot fighting is shoot fighting is an organization that allows takedown. I don't know if you can punch. I don't know if you can punch on the ground.
Maybe you should play the game.
But you can punch on the ground.
I'm not sure. I wasn't sure. I know a Pancrase couldn't, but shoot fighting is mainly punches, kicks, and grappling. That's what it mainly is.
Okay, so mainly shoot fighter turned into a mixed martial artist. It evolved into that. Now that's what he does. He was a professional wrestler because he was in the WWE.
Right.
Where did he learn grappling from?
What?
Look,
no. You can't back up. Don't try to back out. Explain that. Explain that, brother.
Bobby,
yeah. Let me have this, nigga. This is mine, nigga. It's all mine, nigga. Okay. Hey, hold on. What did you finish? What you was just saying? Finish what you were saying.
I'm done,
hey,
man.
Bobby, finish what you were saying, bro.
I'm done, man. Cause look, XO, I'm trying to educate you, bro. I really
okay. No. You're not. Hey, it's shoot fighting wrestling.
No, it's not wrestling.
Okay, so that's what he does. I'm trying to tell you. You need to listen here. He was a shoot fighter.
I'm out, man.
Hey, you wrong. Hey, bring something to the table to prove that you're right about this.
I don't need to, man. Look at Ken Shamrock. Look at Frank Shamrock. Look at
Okay. I won't look on here and see shoot fighter.
Never mind, man.
Back then, hold on. Back then, they didn't consider him a shoot fighter. So if I pull up fights, they're gonna say professional wrestler. Or they're gonna say shoot fighter.
Guys. I'm out.
Which one?
All right, man. Go ahead, man.
Which one?
Oh damn!
hey, you know what that means? You know what that means, Ross?
Did he concede?
No, exactly, yeah.
Robin, tell him why you got some screen time.
Hey, you know what that means when that happens. Hey, me and you would have been on here for 3 hours.
It'd have said 4:44. Like Jay-Z. Hey, listen.
All right, buddy.
I'd have to put my kids to sleep. You would have saw it.
Hey, like, share, subscribe. Hey,
everything.
We got something big rolling out these next couple of weeks. I'm gonna be glad to announce, but like, share, subscribe, share the live, get 5. Next time we're gonna be on here every Thursday, man. Hey, holla at us. Hey, I'm out. They just hang up. I'm not rude like that. I say goodbye to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't wave like that. Oh yeah, you showing the kid. You know what I'm saying? Never mind. I thought that was just you. Like, bye everybody. All right, y'all.
See, there he goes. Bye, all the kids. Everybody say bye.